Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. Lehigh Defense is at the cutting edge of bullet technology. They're a group of highly skilled machinists and firearms enthusiasts who decided to put their two interests together to create a pretty cool ammunition company. And I think one of the best examples of what they're doing to push the bounds of what we think of a high performance bullet is this. It's a 68 grain 9mm controlled fracturing bullet that in their loading pushes out of a 6-inch barrel at about 1,600 feet per second. Well, why would you want to go lighter and high velocity? Well, we're going to talk about that as well as discuss some of the really cool features of the design of this bullet coming up next on Twang and Bang. The 68 grain controlled fracturing bullet from Lehigh Defense is machined from a solid piece of copper. The cuts for the 4 petals start at the base of the bullet and go all the way through the hollow point. The intent is to create 5 wound channels, not just one, increasing the chance that you'll hit a major blood vessel or a major nerve. Its lightweight allows a very high velocity, which increases the forces of hydrostatic shock. This also increases the chance of vascular and nervous tissue disruption. Compared to most 9mm bullets, that hollow point is massive. In spite of that, I had no feeding problems in my Glock G17 at all. It was extremely reliable. This is one of those bullets that just looking at it, you know it's going to hurt. And the gel test does not disappoint. At first glance, that looks like a pretty ordinary test for a 9mm bullet, which actually is pretty cool for 68 grains. But this freeze frame tells the story of that high velocity. Here you can see massive tissue disruption very early in the wound channel, appearing like what you would see from a much larger caliber. The 68 grain bullet started expanding almost the instant it hit the gel and left a very nice wound channel for the first 6 inches of penetration. Though the main wound channel thinned down at that point, the 4 sub-projectiles created their own wound channels from 6.5 to 9 inches deep. If you were to see fragments with a typical Hollowpoint bullet, that would mean that it failed. But this is actually the design of the controlled fracturing bullet, and so it performed very well. The base of the bullet made it 13.5 inches and ended sideways in the gel. The base of the bullet weighed in at approximately 47 grains, and each of the 4 petals weighed in at just over 5 grains. That gave us the total retained weight of 100%, 68 grains in, 68 grains out. To me, the 68 grain weight begs a comparison between this round and the 68 grain Sierra Match King that you'll find loaded in 5.56. And it turns out of this G17 at 10 feet, this load is getting about the same velocity and kinetic energy as a 68 grain Sierra Match King when fired from an M4 at about 600 yards. Of course, if I had my choice, I'd want the bad guy to be 600 yards away from me if I was in a gunfight, but that doesn't always happen. If you want to learn more about the 68 grain controlled fracturing bullet in 9mm from Lehigh Defense, be sure to click the link in the video description below. If you like this video, please take the time to log into YouTube and click the like button. Now more than ever, YouTube needs to know that you like firearms-oriented programming. Be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool stuff. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and hope to see you next time.